All right. Test.
Test.
Test. And we are back on Convincing Idiots. I'm a millennial, Nick. I'm here with my co-host, Gen X Brian, Zennial Dean. Everybody's having a drink. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's having a laugh. We all love to laugh. It's a good time. That's why you're here after all to laugh, but also sometimes to be serious. Because we can do that too. Which is a great tie-in to our main segment tonight.
Yes.
Some great actors of our time we thought we'd discuss. You guys had been watching The Patient with Steve Carell, often known for his comedic performances, whether it's on The Office or any of his hit movies. And this
The
is
Daily
a good
Show.
dramatic role for The Daily Show. Good dramatic role for him. So we thought, why not discuss? There's certainly a decent list, I think. Quite a few came to mind right off the top for me of maybe actors who are mostly known for their comedic performances, but have definitely pivoted quite well into dramatic roles and really showing their talent and how they can pivot to different performances. So we figured that's where we would start this evening. So let's see. Dean, was this your idea?
Well, it was kind of Brian and I kind of tossed back and forth. I don't know if it was my specific idea.
It was a collective idea last evening.
Collective, okay.
Trivia,
Right. I suggested that he give me a hand job, and he goes, "How about like comedians that do serious roles?" So it's just collaborative.
And you just hatched this little collaboration baby together. It's like a little brain baby. There you go. Yeah.
So when he was done giving me a hand job, I agreed to it. So, all right.
After you communicated with one another,
worked it in.
Yeah, there you go.
I communicated all over his wrist. His hands are hairy. All right, so I'm going to go with first of all the obvious. What do you guys think? Obvious or a little obscure?
Whatever you want.
All right, I'll let you guys do. I'm going to start with. Obviously, Steve Carell was already said, so I'm not going to go with it. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes. Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg was one of the funniest, and I'm sure if she went on stage now, she would be one of the funniest stand-ups. But she, in The Color Purple?
Yep.
And other dramatic roles since then, but that was the one she was nominated, won an Academy Award, something like that.
She was at least nominated, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, can really act the hell out of, anything, really.
Out of acting.
Out of acting.
That Whoopi Goldberg, she sure can act the hell out of acting.
Acting and
Dean Harvey, Convincing Idiots.
I should be on the back of the VHS box. Well, I don't know if VHS boxes are still a thing, but
Dean Harvey of Convincing Idiots says that Whoopi Goldberg sure can act the hell out of some acting.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, she acted like she liked being married to Ted Danson for a while.
Sure.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Great acting. Yep. Very dramatic role.
Yep. Okay.
I'll start,
fellas.
I'll start with a very obvious one too. So there might be, you think obvious, you think of somebody like Whoopi Goldberg, but for me, when I think obvious, there's no more obvious answer than if you're looking for a good way to get around town. RPM Bike Shop, an electric bike is in your future. It doesn't matter if you're in a silly mood or a dramatic mood. It doesn't matter. One thing you can rely on to be consistent all the way through is an electric bike from our good friends at RPM Bike Shop. They are located conveniently not so far from here in Carrollton, Ohio. You can drop them a line, give them a call, 330-808-7792. You can also go to their Facebook page. Just simply search RPM Bike Shop. You can also go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, and there you can see their wonderful products that they have available for you. So, whether you're the class clown or the serious Cyrus of the classroom, I didn't think that through. You can ride to school in style all the same on your very own electric bike from RPM Bike Shop. So that is an obvious choice.
There you
But
go. Well,
That's
you
good.
used your fucking deal, Brian. What's
Go
I
ahead,
have
Nick.
another one.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
This is another obvious one as well. And I actually mentioned him in one of our past episodes, but someone who pivoted magnificently from stand-up comedy into acting roles. He probably had more dramatic roles than comedies, and I would say that was Robin Williams, or at least equal. You know what I mean? You can look at any number of movies. Certainly, Good Will Hunting is probably the most gleaming example of a great dramatic role
he
for
was
Robin
nominated
Williams.
for
He won the
Oscar
Academy
for that.
Award.
He
for
won the
that.
Academy Award for that one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yes. Yep. So there was also my personal favorite movie of his was 24 Hour Photo. It was just he was just so creepy and weird. It was so out of the box for anything he'd ever done before. Dead Poets Society was another good one.
Dead Poets Society was.
He did have
that was like for like a kid my age. Dead Poets Society was an eye opener because you only knew him, from his stand up, which is just wild. Mork and Mindy, and he'd done a couple like the one used cars, stuff like that.
That's right.
But Dead Poet Society just blew your
Cadillac
mind.
Man, Cadillac Man.
Yeah,
That's what it
Cadillac
was.
Man. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie just changed the whole deal for him. It really solidified him, and then he just kept going. The Fisher King, another one was amazing. To me, if I know we're not doing a Mount Rushmore, but he's the fucking center.
Yeah,
one in the Mount Rushmore to me when it comes to comedians that did, the dramatic roles.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he really shone in the dramatic roles for sure.
He did one. It was a Law and Order SVU. It was like they weren't back to back, but like he was on like 3 times same character. And it was the creepiest, like all of these guys, that have guest starred on that show or have to be creepy in some way. He just blew it out of the water. Like if you get a chance, search that out. It's Robin Williams on the SVU. It's incredible.
Okay. And the World According to Garp, also him and John Lithgow. So it's an early 80s movie. Also very good one. Check that out.
Let's stop and give John Lithgow his flowers real quick. What a fucking actor.
Yeah. So good. I caught that. This is go off on a tangent super quick on John Lithgow. So I watched recently just looking for creepy movies. I came across, I forgot about the Twilight Zone movie that they did in the 80s, right? So they basically just reenacted a few classic Twilight Zone episodes in the movie. I had forgotten that John Lithgow did the man on the wing. Yep. He was so damn good in that section of that movie as just reinforced the fact what a great actor he was.
Well, anyway. Let's pause for a second, and since we brought John Lithgow up in it, that's the reversal. Like he was like
you're right.
He's the reversal because like he was such a serious actor, and then you throw him in Third Rock from the Sun, and he's just brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Another obvious one for me, guys. Tom Hanks. I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, he started out in very goofy roles. He was a stand-up comic as well. I mean, he did Bosom Buddies on TV. It was one of his first big things. Bachelor Party, which is still one of my favorite funny movies. Probably doesn't hold up too well, but just great. And then he just goes into some of these dramatic roles, and it's just one of those things where it's something like Robin Williams. Like, this guy is funny. How's he going to do in this? And instantly, it's like, this guy's good. The guy's just a solid, good actor. Done so many good things. Obviously, Forrest Gump, terrific. Saving Private Ryan, Green Mile, Philadelphia Story, Castaway. It's just so good. And then he could go right back to comedy. All these guys. That's the thing about these guys too. They're comedians, and they can easily go right back to comedy. It's so easy for them. It's seamless.
Very, very pleased to. I don't know if you watched Saturday Night Live last week, but David Pumpkins made an appearance again.
I didn't see it, but I heard that he came back for it.
Drunk Uncle as well. Dean's favorite was there. It was but they brought Bobby Moynihan back, to do some things too. But he's also one of the skeletons that's there with David Pumpkins, so he was there. So but that was awesome.
The second they were in the elevator, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
David S. Pumpkins
Yeah.
is coming back. Oh
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah.
So we watch it the next day, but like so David Pumpkins is very popular in my house. The boys love that sketch, like the David Pumpkins thing. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a snippet of David Pumpkins, but what gave it away was Bobby Moynihan has a beard in this one. I was like, oh shit, that's new. Like, so I told Lane when we were watching, I said, you might want to pay attention. I'm not going to say anything, but just pay. Same deal. He goes, once he saw that they were on and he saw that Keenan was the, operator there. And he was like, oh, it's David Pumpkins. I'm like, yeah.
So good. Anyway, yeah. So Tom Hanks, great in dramatic roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dean,
All right,
what
so
else you got?
I'm actually going to go with Michael Keaton.
Yes.
Not a lot of people know, but Michael Keaton started as a stand-up as well.
Yes.
He actually had the same situation as they weren't sure about hiring him for Batman because he had done so many comedic roles and doing a stand-up. They weren't sure people would buy him as the Dark Knight. But luckily Tim Burton was able to, convince them otherwise, and they kept him in the rest of history.
Great choice.
That is interesting. I had no idea Michael Keaton did stand up or anything. I'd never heard that before.
Yep.
Yeah, he did stuff like very early on, Nick, like Mr. Mom was a big movie. Like he was a stay-at-home dad. Night Shift, and Night Shift is kind of a forgotten movie with the great Henry Winkler in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very good movie. They were running, two guys were running a morgue, and they were started to run a pimp service out of the morgue at night on the prompting of Michael Keaton. That was one of his first movies. It might have been his very first movie at the time.
What was the one where he where the used cars, or not used cars, but they were the Japanese bought the car.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Company.
I can't remember. Yeah, that was good. He was in some advertising. It was like there was a movie too with Christopher Lloyd and Michael Keaton where an advertising executive hired mental patients to come up with ads, and the ads were
God, I forgot about that movie.
Just brilliant.
Holy shit! Hell yeah!
Yeah, very very funny. So, but yeah, great. You're right, great dramatic actor.
I mean, well, I guess Beetlejuice is a comedy.
Yeah. Anyway,
I want to find out what the name of this movie is. You go ahead, guys.
But yeah, Michael Keaton did win an Oscar in a dramatic role for Birdman a few years ago.
Yes, Birdman was great.
And obviously great as the Vulture in the Spider-Man movies. Great villain.
Yep.
So yeah, great stuff. And he will of course make his return as the Batman in. Of course, he already made it in Batgirl. But he's going to make it in The Flash coming up next year. Right? Is it next year or is it later this year? The Flash? The next year? I think it's next year.
It should be this year, right?
Coming out soon.
This year's almost over.
Him, the Batman. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get. Good point.
Okay.
On 2024 or 3.
All right. So
what year is it now?
2022. I forget the year sometimes. I do find myself.
Yeah. Dream Team. The Dream Team. That was the name of that movie.
Great movie.
That was a great movie.
I just recall one of the slogans was Porsche. A car like guys like strange women to give them hand jobs or something like that. It was like something like that. That's a great slogan. Okay, is it Nick? Is it your turn?
I believe it is my turn. I'm going to go with a great Canadian comedic actor here who has also really thrived in a lot of dramatic roles. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's a very funny guy. Jim Carrey has been in a lot of great comedies, but Jim Carrey has also definitely been in some great dramatic roles. What was the number 23? Was that one? It was kind of that was a creepy movie.
Good though.
Man on the Moon was the one that he portrayed Andy Kaufman in, but definitely a good biopic about him. So Jim Carrey's another one that. Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah. Yes, that's good one too.
Correct. Yep. So, I love Jim Carrey. He's just this treasure. I absolutely love Jim Carrey. I just adore him, and I just.
If you want to watch a fun part of documentary, watch it's
Jim
the one
and
with
Andy.
Yeah, where he had a camera crew following him behind the scenes because he really went out of his way to be like Andy Kaufman and make all of this, he was really sunk into the role.
Yeah.
But he was having an actual crew follow him also to document that story. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And very meta documentary.
Sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just in and out of your own mind, kind of. You know what I mean? Like just.
It'd be rough.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yep.
Brian not knowing what reality is between podcasts and real life, and
Right. Everything's just running
forget
being a
together.
glory hole salesman. Yeah, it's all very tough for me.
Yep. Forget sometimes.
Yep.
Yep. That's all right. Great choice. Dean, what's your next one?
My next one actually could be. I was doing the research on this, and there's some that are obvious, but I want to shout out Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Trial of the Chicago 7?
I did not.
Nope.
Holy shit, you need to watch it. The Trial of the Chicago 7 was these group of Vietnam protesters, like 1968. They got put on trial by the U.S. government, and it's that story. It's a very famous. Do you remember the scene in Forrest Gump where he's on the Washington thing doing the speech, and like they pull the plug so you can't hear what he actually has to say?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. That scene, and the guy that's Vietnam. I think Sacha Baron Cohen plays that guy.
Okay.
He was a very famous protester and stuff, but it's a serious role. The cast is amazing. What's his name? The guy that wrote and directed and all those of the West Wing and all those kind of fast paced talking movies. He did that.
Okay.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a great movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Very
vent
good.
there. I'm gonna. All right. It is, yeah. It's Eddie Redmayne, Jeremy Strong, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's right. Michael Keaton is in it also. So yeah, definitely search out that movie, guys. Sacha Baron Cohen is amazing in it. The whole cast is amazing. It's a great movie.
I'm a big fan of his. He is kind of one of those guys that can kind of do it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
different
search out
types
this
of
movie.
comedy. Like he's just, I don't know. He's all over the place. I love him.
Then I may have seen that there's a rumor that he may play Mephisto also in the Marvel
That is
universe.
the rumor.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, another one here. How about Jamie Foxx? Jamie Foxx got his start on
Yeah.
He's on my list.
Yep.
with Jim Carrey.
With Jim Carrey. Yep.
And he certainly went on and did a lot of, certainly action movies, but he's done some good dramatic roles as well, like as Ray Charles.
Ray was
And
a fantastic movie.
Yeah, some other stuff here. So Jamie Foxx is a solid actor.
Oh, absolutely. That law-abiding citizen he was in with Gerard Butler. Oh my God, that was such a good movie where he's the lawyer. That was just a fantastic movie. Yeah, and will be portraying Al Simmons' Spawn in the upcoming movie. So very excited.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Yep.
He was in the one movie, the dramatic role. What was it like? I don't know. A dude had I think electricity running through him or something.
Yes, Electro, I believe.
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
That was like a real serious movie, right?
He was actually one of the better villains in the last Spider-Man movie. I liked his Electro in the last Spider-Man movie. So his portrayal. Yeah. Okay. I know it's getting a little late here. How about one more? And then I have one question for you before we wrap up here. So
one more? You want one? Just only one more?
One more for each of us, or
I mean, we can keep going, but it's getting late for you guys. Everybody working tomorrow morning. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, you were. Wow, yeah, you were correct. I didn't realize that. Okay, one more each. Okay, and then some honorable mentions. How about rapid fire? Let's just go around. We don't have to sit here and
That's great.
how about rapid fire until we're done? I've got like 3 or 4 more names that I want to throw out. So
perfect.
We don't have to go into it. There's one. I'll start out if that's okay.
Yeah.
Just because I could be off. I don't even know if this person qualifies. The first time I remember seeing them as the zany, wacky dad and Malcolm in the Middle, Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
I don't know. He probably did shit before that, but that's the first time I knew Bryan Cranston.
Yep.
So I thought he was a funny, actor, but my God, Bryan Cranston. I mean, I don't even need to say anymore. You already know. So Bryan Cranston.
I'm going the obvious Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Started out with, Saturday Night Live and stand up. Probably one of the most world-renowned stand-ups ever. and all the dramatic stuff he's done. So, yep, Eddie Murphy on my list.
Watch it. By the way, look up the Dolomite movie, Eddie Murphy on Netflix.
I've heard that's really good.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure he was going to be up for some type of award for that. You just go check that out. If it's a lot of fun, go check. Not a kids movie, but a lot of fun. How about John Goodman? Definitely
there you go.
roles. He's done funny dramatic roles. Yeah.
Yep. Nick.
As me again. Okay, here we go. Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill, a lot of comedies. Moneyball.
Sure.
Moneyball, great dramatic role in Moneyball. So Jonah Hill's good one.
I'm going to go old school and go Albert Brooks. Great stand-up, great writer, also comedic actor. But like when he was in Drive, being the bad guy, and he's done other serious roles too. But like, yeah, he can really put it up to dramatic roles there.
Very good. How about the great Jackie Gleason? Going a little bit more old school.
Yep.
Honeymooners, Smoking the Bandit. He also had some very good dramatic roles, including his last movie. The name escapes me, but he played the father of Tom Hanks. Kind of a closure of their life, kind of making amends as he was dying. So, very touching performance by the great Jackie Gleason.
Nice. All right. I'm going to go with this guy's catalog is mostly comedy, but has delivered some good dramatic performances. Adam Sandler. Even in some of his comedies, there have been heartfelt moments that Adam Sandler really delivers on. So I think Adam Sandler transitions pretty well in that.
The end of the movie Click made me cry.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good example of like a dramatic role in a comedy movie. Definitely. Right. So Adam Sandler's done pretty well in that lane.
Very good. Any more?
That's all mine.
Okay.
I can wrap it there. I'm good.
Okay. That sounds good. So all these actors, obviously, they've done great role. What is it about? So why? Why do you think? Why is a person?
Well, I think you got to know when to laugh and when not to laugh, Brian. That's basically what it comes down to.
Does he know when to laugh?
See, now I'm laughing. Now I stop.
Just what? Why are so a lot of these comedians could do dramatic roles very seamlessly. So why do you think that is? Is it because? Well, I want to give my own theory. So why do they? There's many more we could name. There's tons out there that do well.
Sure.
It seems like it's. I don't know, but to me, it seems like it's easier. Yes, that's right. It seems like it's easier for a funny person known to be funny to play a dramatic role than the other way around, unless they're doing it like a deadpan type.
Yeah.
Like Leslie Nielsen was not necessarily a funny. There's tons of people like that too. They're not known for being funny necessarily, but they could play a comedy role well. But it's usually, like I say, funny to dramatic seems to have a bit easier transition, like you say. So why do you think that is?
Because to truly master comedy, you have to know pain. No, I mean
well, I think you're
not
right.
necessarily in so many words, but I mean, I think some of the best, comedians or funniest people, it sprouts from somewhere, right? So like there's something down in there, yes, that you can tap into that is very real, very heartfelt, that you can draw on or pain or torturous or whatever. Not in every case. But I definitely think, and also, I mean, even still, acting is acting, right? So even to act in a comedic role, to be able to, serve that up properly, at that point, I think it just becomes a skill of knowing how to, act properly in a dramatic role. But it's, used to be a good actor in a comedy requires the basic same skill set as to, act well in a drama. It's just the way that you deliver it. Can you deliver it properly? So, I mean, these people are talented is what it comes down to. They're just talented actors. They're talented at delivering performances, and the people that we just named, along with many others, are very capable of both sides of the spectrum.
That's good. Dean, what do you think?
All right. Nick is, I believe, 100% right.
Whoa. Can we get that on loop?
Yep, that 100% right. And beautiful. But the one thing that I think that he was missing was timing. They say that even dramatic actors say that the hardest thing to do is comedy. It's because of the timing. You hear it all the time, comedic timing. And especially stand-ups. Stand-up comedians have to have that precise timing of words and how to speak and, when to have that, the right line. And I think, not just the, pulling that part out of them to get the crying acting type, reaction, but the way to say lines, because they've spent so much time working on timing of the lines, of their lines or whatnot, that when they do dramatic roles, it's cake. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have that timing down. And also, like he said, yeah, funny people are sad. Not all of them, but they say a lot of them. You know what I mean? Shit, when I was a kid, you did it because I was the smallest kid, and rather than get picked on, if you could pick on yourself first,
Yeah,
they don't
mechanism.
Pick on you. Correct. Right. And there you go. That's exactly it, Nick. Defense mechanism. Comedy is the defense mechanism to sadness and not despair. That might be a little excessive, but just the darker parts. So, and they can tap into that because that's what they've been hiding. That's why they've been doing what they're doing. So yeah, timing and the dark side of the sad clown, so to speak.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of that joke. What makes a great comedian? Timing. Someone's supposed to say what? Say that's never mind. Supposed to talk over the what.
Actually, that makes it better because
you still messed it up. That's the whole point of it.
You fucked your own timing.
No, I agree with you guys. I mean, I think a lot of these guys. I mean, and you can look at someone, even unfortunately now, like the great Robin Williams, and that the poor man suffered from depression for so long, and it seemed like he probably used comedy, like you say, as a way to, I don't know, distract himself for a while. Distract himself from the depression and all that. He was very good at it. It was a way to get accepted, I'm sure. And
Nick would use it if he could.
That's right. So now I just have to sit here and sulk in my sadness because I have no defense mechanism. Nothing to keep the demons at bay. Only this podcast with you two bastards. That's it.
That's right. I find myself
to go.
I do that. I find myself trying to do that. I know it's certainly not successful all the time, but if I'm in a awkward, even at work, sometimes I'll try to use humor as a way to get a laugh out of somebody, to calm myself down from when I'm extra nervous or something like that. So,
Clark, we got to let you go, but shitter's full, Clark. Have a good weekend.
Pull my finger.
I'll never see you again. Bye.
Yep. No,
it's not true. Brian fired me years ago, and here's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yep. Multiple times, literally.
That's right.
Yeah.
True story.
And many more to come, so stay tuned for that.
That's right. One of these episodes.
And the creek don't rise.
We're doing one of these live episodes. Yeah.
That's right.
Some of these guys certainly, they're dealing with a lot of, pain. They definitely, a lot to work through and use comedy to get out of it. Something else, though, that may bring you a little bit of pain, but is worth the effort, worth the results. No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't need to listen anymore.
Well, just like getting a tattoo. So it's a way to maybe a way to cover up a little bit of I don't know. I'm losing. My segue is losing traction.
He can't stop thinking about anal, guys. That's what it is.
That's right. Threw me off.
I got it in his head.
That's right. So
getting your head and getting that ass.
That's right.
Do you have pain that you need to mask? Well, tattoo is a perfect way to do it.
That's right.
A perfect cover-up, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Our new sponsor, Orgasm Incorporated, No, golden heart tattoo. If you're in the
So it
Northeast
doesn't do with
Ohio
that
area,
ring on your finger. How many times have you lost that bad boy?
it's the marker. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Thank you.
The marker.
Thank you. Stop here. No, but golden heart tattoos.
It's a dip line. Here you go.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Norton, Ohio. They do great work. You've done work on all of us. goldenhearttattoos.com or give them a call at 234-706-2982 to get your appointment scheduled. 2022 is running out. Don't let the year end without getting yourself some ink. Cover up some internal pain with some external pain.
That's right.
And with a good result afterwards.
And I don't want to say it's a scientific proven deal, but like
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure when you're getting the tattoo, if you stare into Greg's or Scott's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't hurt at all. You get
That's right.
lost.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm just going to mention our other sponsor because I'm not going to think of another creative segment. That's okay. So
3 knuckle finger rings.
That's right.
Knuckle finger rings.
The what?
The 3 knuckle finger rings. No? Is that they don't sponsor us?
I like that. It's a subsidiary of Orgasm Incorporated. I think that's what it is. I think also maybe not. I could be Mrs. I don't know if it's a subsidiary or not, but they may practice perhaps some orgasm meditation. Maybe is our final sponsor. Yeah, Bellmark Amazon Amazon Store, not Amazon Studio. Bellmark Amazon Store, quality, handcrafted woodwork products. They specialize in floating liquor cabinets, nightstands, and also countertop compost bins. Look them up on the Amazon site. Everything delivered conveniently, safely, and affordably right through the Amazon delivery service. Go check them out. And again, Christmas is coming up. We're already into November. Any one of their gifts makes a fine holiday. I said any one of their gifts. Any one of their products, I'm trying to say, makes a great holiday gift for someone that you love. So check them out. All right. Guys, great episode. I think we solved some more problems.
Slightly better than average. I enjoyed this.
Slightly better than average. I think I would like all of us, Nick, over the next week, make sure we're all practicing some orgasm meditation. I would like to hear your progress.
Done and done. I'm going to do that as soon as I get off this podcast here. And then I'm going to get off. Podcast. That's right, exactly.
All of our significant others wish that we would also practice it on them once in a great while. Just once in a while.
Let's not get greedy. All right.
Come on.
Easy.
We got so much time.
Once in a while. Yeah, once in a while.
How about I worry about me, you worry about you?
Yeah. Well, the year's almost over, so if you haven't yet accomplished that, so time's running out. So
what? You got fucking hands? Come on.
The poor women in our lives. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So, Dean, any suggestions on an outro for young Nick?
Oh boy.
Maybe one of the comedians who's a good dramatic actor or something like that, perhaps. I don't know. What do you think?
Am I good at any of their voices? I don't think so.
Actually, you know what?
I know who you're good at. Go ahead, please. I have a suggestion. If you don't, have
by all means. By all means.
Nick did a very excellent but brief imitation of Adam Sandler, and we talked about Adam Sandler.
He did
when we said it was Adam Sandler going to play. I think it was in Gone with the Wind or something like that. We talked about that.
That's right. Okay.
One of the funniest clips of the season, in my opinion. There, it cracked me up. So, how about an outro as Adam Sandler? Did you do this already? I don't remember if you did Adam Sandler.
I might have. I can't remember exactly.
He did.
Okay, well, you can pick somebody else if you want
well,
to.
Just in case I didn't.
Here it comes anyway, so get ready. So for all of you out there listening, we're going to lay it out real nice for you. All you got to do is go on over to Convention Idiots. Linktree. You go in there, you put on LINKTR. And there, after you put all of these in there, whoopity-doo, all of the links for all of the websites come out there for you. And also, if that's too much for you, all you gotta do is head over to convincingidiots.wordpress.com. And there, you're gonna find all the links. You can like, you can subscribe, you can rate, you can review, and do all of those things. Listen with your ears. Can you hear me? Are we not good enough for your ears? So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am a millennial. My name is Nick.
Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you that there's a time to laugh and a time to be very serious?
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.